Allah is my heart's speech. Your mercy is what I beseech. Keep in my heart your remembrance, and in your deen allow me to advance. Help me in my quest. Permit me to pass the ultimate test. Help me in my quest. Permit me to pass the ultimate test.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. All praise is due to Allah. We praise Him and we seek His help. Whomsoever Allah guides is the truly guided one, and whomsoever Allah leaves astray, none can show him guidance. I begin by praising Allah the Almighty and sending the best peace and blessings upon His most beloved Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Secondly, brothers and sisters, welcome to another live edition of our program Ask Huda on Saturday, the 13th day of the blessed month of Ramadan. May Allah accept from all of us. It is a quick reminder with our phone numbers and contact information: area code 002, then 023855 131. Alternatively, area code 002, then 01005469323. The two WhatsApp numbers are area code 001 347 80625. Finally, 001 area code 361 489 1503. Nu'man from the United Kingdom is on the line. Assalamu alaikum. Hello?
Hello. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Ask Huda, brother.
Yeah, wa alaikum assalam, akhi. Thanks for taking my call. I appreciate it. Jazakallah khair for the efforts. I know today I was on your Facebook that you announced that you guys are working even harder and doing this on Saturday for us, and I really appreciate for your hard work that all of you put in. I have a couple of questions, Sheikh.
Yes.
One is the question that I have for you. So one of my wife's friend, she's a single mother, and she has few thousand. She has about £3,000 with her. So she normally gives zakat in the month of Ramadan, but she's in a lot of financial difficulty because former husband's not paying anything. She has no job, so she's asking, in this financial hardship she's about to face, does she still need to give zakat because she does reach the nisab, but she's already anticipating a lot of bills, rent to pay, and she thinks she's going to be quite short on money. So her question is, does she need to pay zakat, knowing, and to be honest, we think that we might need to give our zakat to her because she's going to be in a lot of financial difficulty. That's my first question. And I have another question for you, Sheikh, which is, one of my friend, he asked me a question. Basically, he has an issue. He passes a lot of gas, obviously, which breaks his wudu, and I've already heard you answer before that basically he passes wind very frequently. So I told him the answer you mentioned before, that he can just renew his wudu before when the adhan takes place, and then pray that, and he can continue passing wind. I believe that's the verdict that you gave. But he asked me, what's the situation if he wants to read the Quran? Can he just renew his wudu once, and if he keep passing the wind, because he then breaks the wudu, and he's not sure, because obviously, generally speaking, we're not supposed to touch the mushaf, and he's saying, well, if I do wudu, but keep breaking my wudu every couple of minutes, so can I touch the mushaf for then one wudu now? And I told him, well, I don't know the answer. I'll ask the Sheikh.
Okay, got your questions. Nu'man from United Kingdom, thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum. Brother Ali from the United Kingdom, assalamu alaikum, Ali.
Yeah, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I just want to ask, when you pray, like, actually I'm an Asian. So what I do, I keep my hands just above the navel. So I just wanted to know, like, not keeping hands on the chest, will that invalidate my prayer?
Okay, Ali, no, it will not invalidate your prayer. And if you're Asian, and according to Hanafi madhab, you keep your hand beneath the navel, not on the navel. So this is called hay'ah, a way or a form of praying. The correct view is to keep the right on the left, on the chest. That's for both men and women. Has been narrated by a huge number of companions. Ka'b ibn Ujara and others and others. But if you did otherwise, your prayer is still valid. Okay, so keeping the hay'ah according to the sunnah increases your reward in the prayer and perfects your prayer. But if you didn't do that, it won't affect the validity of your prayer. Thank you, Ali from United Kingdom. Brother Numan from the United Kingdom, he began by appreciating and thanking what Huda team is doing to go an extra mile and to present another episode on Saturday. And to be honest with you, brothers and sisters, when we realized that it is needed, once we informed the crew and the cast, it was a WhatsApp message, and they're all here, mashallah. Whoever is needed is here. So I want to make dua for them. All of those who are behind the cameras, and the control, the director, everybody who has left his house, left his family, has taken his day off to come to work on Saturday for Allah's sake. May Allah bless them all. May Allah bless them all. And may Allah bless you, brothers and sisters. Through your support, financial support, and your dua, we're capable to go live for another day. So thank you all. تقبل الله منا ومنكم. السلام عليكم. Afridi from Bangladesh.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Ask Huda, Afridi.
How are you?
We're all doing fine, alhamdulillah, akhi. Barakallah feek.
Okay. Should I move my index finger in the tashahhud when reciting only at-tahiyatu, or till finishing dua masura and making taslim?
Okay. Afridi, do you have only one question?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I want to ask you a question.
I will go for Isha prayer.
Okay, I want to ask you a very important question. We know that we have hundreds of thousands of Burmese refugees, Rohingyas refugees in Bangladesh. Do you have an access to them?
Yes, I know there is refugees, but I live in so much away from them. But I sometimes may donate to him.
طيب. Thank you. I was asking because alhamdulillah, shukrullah, by the grace of Allah, Allah has guided us to some ways and means to support the Rohingyas refugees in Bangladesh. So I want to thank the Bengali people. Thank you so much. And I want to encourage them to do more and more and more. They are not refugees. They are your brothers and sisters in Islam. So take good care of them. As far as the financial part, alhamdulillah, we and the Muslim community in North America is doing a great job in supporting them financially. But we need the moral support from the local people to our Rohingyas brothers and sisters. Jazakumullah khairan, Afridi. With regards to the index finger in the tashahhud, whether middle or last, you have several opinions in this regard. What Ka'b ibn Ujara, may Allah be pleased with him, narrated, he said that, I have seen the Prophet ﷺ يدعو بها ويحركها. He was moving his index finger while supplicating. So that's why they say, when you come to say, Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammad, that's a dua. You move your finger up and down. There is another opinion which says you keep your finger fixed and pointing towards the Qibla and you look at it. Whether you move it up and down, whether you keep it fixed, both are valid, and it is just a sunnah and a hay'ah of the prayer. Barakallahu fikum. Afridi, now we can catch your Isha prayer. Brother Nu'man from the UK, he asked about a woman who is a single mother. She has 3,000 pounds, which is basically the nisab. Excuse me. Let me take this call and we'll get back to Nu'man's question. Assalamu alaikum. Sister Irfana from India. Assalamu alaikum. Sister Irfana, welcome to Ask Huda.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, Sheikh Salam. I have two questions today. The first one, I want to know if is sitting in at
I think he got another call, and this is a drawback in WhatsApp calls. Okay, we'll give you another.
Hello?
Yes, Arfana, can you start your question over, please? Arfana?
Okay, I want to know is Ehtekaf, can you hear me, Sheikh?
Yes, I can.
Okay, is being in Ehtekaf and praying the Eid Salah, is it Farde Kifaya? Can you please explain to me that? And the second question is, like in India, the morning the Fajr prayer Adhan is called at 4:42 here, but our local Imam says that the dawn is at 4:26, wherein I hear all the masajid or everybody calls Adhan at only at 4:42. So I want to know why is this confusion? And in case if we had eaten a sahur just 2-3 minutes before the Adhan, is the fast valid? That's it.
Okay, Sister Arfana. Sundus from Germany. Assalamu alaikum, Sister Sundus.
I have a quick questions.
Mm-hmm.
Flight attendant of the airplane.
Sundus, I cannot take your question. A lot of distraction. Your voice is breaking off. Bad connection. You want to try another line, please? Sister Sundus, try another line, please. You have 4 lines to choose from. Okay. So a woman who has 3,000 sterlings, which basically equals the nisab, yani that can purchase the value of 85 grams of gold or 595 grams of silver. And she has this amount since last year, which means the 2 conditions have been met: the nisab and the 1 year round, the cycle, which is lunar year. Then she herself is in financial need. Does she have to pay zakah on the 3 grands that she has? Yes. And how much is the zakah? It's not much. It's 25 pounds per each 1,000. So basically it's entirely 75 pounds. This is as far as the first part of your question. So the person who has 3,000, 4,000 pounds, the zakah due on them is 100 pounds. Just 100 pounds. No big deal. 2.5% or rubu al-ashr. On the other hand, when I know that there is a sister, a single mother, a widow, or a person who's looking after orphans, and they're poor, they have 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, but this is like making them, live hand to mouth, barely enough to pay their bills, utilities, and just survive. Are they eligible for zakah? Yes, they are eligible. And I am encouraged and highly recommended to pay them out of my zakah. So on one hand, the person could be actually paying zakah because he possesses the nisab, but they are living hand to mouth. So on the other hand, we give them from the zakah because they are eligible. Assalamu alaikum. Brother Osama from Spain. Osama, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sheikh, I called you last time as well, calling from the Netherlands, asking you a question, and today I'd like to ask you a similar question, but I have 4 questions for you. Is that okay, inshallah?
MashaAllah, you moved from Netherlands to Spain.
Naam, I moved to Tenerife, alhamdulillah. I've got a job here. I'm an English teacher, so alhamdulillah.
But do you speak Spanish?
Excuse me?
Do you speak Spanish?
Un poco. Hablo español un poquito. I speak a bit of Spanish.
Okay, not bad. Tika.
Okay. All right.
Okay, because
Anyway, so
we started Huda TV in Spanish this Ramadan by the grace of Allah. Alhamdulillah. So we will announce the link as well. Inside. Yeah, go ahead. Present your 4 questions, but in English.
All right, so my first question is regarding. So I'm talking about Tawheed and Aqidah here. Okay, so the first question is about Dar al-Kufr, Dar al-Harb, and or Islam. Could you please clarify these 3 terms? Then my second question is regarding Kufr. So I've heard from some people, and last time I told you I heard from a friend, that when we live in Dar al-Kufr, we should give the people the judgment of the country. So if it's Dar al-Kufr, it means it's ruled by not what Allah has sent upon us, so not the Sharia. And so we should regard everyone to be, kafir, unless we have a sign from people that they are Muslim. And so then we would individually say, okay, this person is a Muslim. So this question, should we give people the judgment of the country? Then my third question is about the principle of considering everyone to be Muslim. Is this only in Darul Islam, or is this also in Darul Kufr, Darul Harb, and
Okay, got your questions. You have another one?
My third question is regarding the verse وَمَنْ لَمْ يَحْكُمْ بِمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْكَافِرُونَ. Is this ayah muhkam or not? Because as far as I understand, Ibn Abbas said that this is kufr duna kufr, so it is not the kind of kufr that will get someone out of Islam. So please clarify this as well. And my last question is, where does the principle of believing that the rulers that do not rule by the rules of Allah, but believe that the rules of Allah are better and more correct, are still Muslims? Where does this rule come from?
Okay, got your questions. You need a conference, not a lecture, to answer your questions. Usama, will do my best, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. Sister Zahra from Nigeria is next on the line. Assalamu alaikum. Sister Zahra, assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. How are you doing?
Alhamdulillah, and thank you for asking. You're live on Ask Huda. Go ahead.
Alhamdulillah. Please, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm listening.
Okay, so we were told like if you are in your period and then you make the fast like in the afternoon, that you have to close your mouth without eating anything till after iftar, though you pay the fast after Ramadan.
Okay. Wait a minute. You were told that during the period you still should not be eating, correct? Is this what you're saying?
Hello?
Zahra, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Repeat your question again, please. For the sake of the viewers, we want to hear your question again. Okay, I did get her question, but because this is something that a lot of people inquire about, I wanted her to repeat her question so that you guys hear her. Let me write down her question. All right, next, assalamu alaikum. Noor from Ethiopia, assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum, ya Noor, go ahead. Okay, another caller, Tawfiq from Ethiopia, assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum, Tawfiq. Zahra, assalamu alaikum, Sister Zahra.
Did you get my question?
Okay, yes, I did. I want you to repeat your question, Sister Zahra. If a woman got her period during the daytime of Ramadan, I figured that you said you were told that she still has to keep fasting to the rest of the day, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Sister Zahra. So, brothers and sisters, quickly, assalamu alaikum. Safi from India. Ya Safi, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. How are you, Sheikh?
Alhamdulillah, I'm doing fine. So what do you have in mind, Safi, today?
My question
Safi.
can my question is reciting Qunut during the Fajr prayer.
What is better during the Fajr prayer?
Is it for the
Safi.
reciting Qunut during Fajr prayer? Is it for
Okay, they will collect your question in the control, then they will pass it on to me. I have a simple request for the viewers. Besides that, whenever you pick up the phone, make sure that there is no loud noise around you. And even if you're watching me on the screen, if you're watching the program on your tab or your computer, mute it so that it will not cause any interference with your call. Secondly, once you call and you say Assalamu alaikum and you're live on air, present your question. You don't have to hear yourself to make certain that I hear you. Okay? If I motion to you that continue, even if your question is long, just go on. Instead of asking, can you hear me? And we'll start going back and forth and so on. Because that wastes a lot of our time. May Allah guide us what is best. Assalamu alaikum. Noor from India. Assalamu alaikum. Noor. Noor. Noor, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam, ya Sheikh.
Yeah, go ahead and present your question, Akhi.
Yes, I have a good friend of I that he's a Christian, and his brother passed away yesterday night. So I wanted to like pray to him, but I'm a Muslim. I guess it's not good for a good Muslim to pray for a Christian. Is that right? So the boy, he was like 14 to 15 years, and I wanted to pray for him. He was a good boy to me. He was a good boy. So I wanted to pray for him. I don't think is that allowed for me as a Muslim brother to pray for the young boy.
Okay.
Am I allowed to do that?
Got your question, Noor. First of all, on behalf of Huda TV, extend our condolences to your friend. You said a good friend of yours lost his younger brother. So we are, as Muslims, we're not only permitted, it is recommended to give your neighbors, your friends, your co-workers, non-Muslims their rights, which is somebody died in the family, you go, you extend your condolences to them, say, I feel very sorry for the loss of your brother. May Allah grant you patience. You pray for him, for his guidance. And in order to condole the living family, a person who's grown up, who passed away outside the fold of Islam, as a Muslim, I don't have an access to pray for no one who died as non-Muslim. But I am commanded to give the condolences to his family, to sympathize with them, to help them, and so on. What if the person was sick and I want to pray for him at the hospital? He's non-Muslim. Pray for him. Recommended. So you pray for him if he's sick. You visit him if he's sick. You pray for his family, those who are alive. You pray for their guidance. When the person dies, as a non-Muslim, my dua would not benefit him and ought. Alhamdulillah. Well, it's like I heard you. يهديكم الله ويصلح بالكم. Okay. If a woman experiences her menses right in the middle of the day, well, that day doesn't count as a day of fasting. So she can eat, she can drink, she can do her regular activities. Obviously, she doesn't pray during the period, and she's not fasting anymore. And that day doesn't count, she has to make it up, even if it was just 5 minutes before sunset. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَكُلُوا وَاشْرَبُوا حَتَّى يَتَبَيَّنَ لَكُمُ الْخَيْطُ الْأَبْيَضُ مِنَ الْخَيْطِ الْأَسْوَدِ مِنَ الْفَجْرِ. So that is the beginning of fasting, which is dawn. ثُمَّ أَتِمُّ الصِّيَامَ إِلَى اللَّيْلِ. 187, chapter number 2. Then continue fasting until the night, which is sunset. If before sunset the person happened to eat or drink deliberately, the day doesn't count. if a woman experiences her menses a few minutes before sunset, that day doesn't count, and she has to make it up afterward. And after that, she can eat and drink because she's not fasting. So if at noon, Fajr, afternoon, the woman experiences her menses, go ahead and eat and drink because that day doesn't count as a day of fasting. And if a woman experiences purity during the daytime, okay, but it wasn't before Fajr, it was after Fajr, again, that day doesn't count because fasting begins at dawn, not after. But what is the condition in this case? Does she have to abstain from eating and drinking? No, because she's not fasting. She can eat and drink. There are two different opinions, but the more right opinion that she's not fasting, enjoy eating and drinking, but obviously you don't eat and drink in front of people. So since you're not fasting, you eat and drink. Assalamu alaikum. Brother Muhammad from United Arab Emirates, Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam, Shaykh. How are you today?
Alhamdulillah, I'm doing just fine. Thank you, Muhammad, for asking. How about yourself?
I have a question. It's for my wife. Actually, she thought that her parents or grandparents, that if they are on the menstrual period, if while they're combing, any hair fall down from the head, they should not blow that hair. What they're doing, they're keeping on their comb, or they're just keeping during this period. Is that what is the view of in Islam regarding this?
No. A woman, while is having her period, can comb her hair and can take a bath and can throw the falling hair in the trash and all of that. The impurity does not make the body parts impure, and that's why your wife cooks for you. And a person's wife in the menses, they hug and they kiss and they cuddle and they lie together on bed. The only one thing that they avoid is sexual contact. And as far as the ibadah, she doesn't pray, she doesn't fast, she doesn't perform tawaf. But otherwise, everything is regular. Muhammad, barakallah fikum. Nu'man from the UK, his second question was, a friend of his again is having frequently passing wind uncontrollably. So he knows my answer that you make wudu for each prayer. Once it is a prayer time, once the prayer time has entered, and you can pray the fard and all the relating before and after nawafil. Agreed. What about the Quran? Likewise for the Quran. You make wudu and you sit, even though you break in wind, this is out of your control. You keep holding the mushaf and reading Quran. You are actually allowed to pray in this condition, perform tawaf in this condition. So you can read Quran and hold the mushaf likewise, inshallah. My dear viewers, we're going to take a short break, and inshallah we'll be back in a couple minutes to tackle Arfana's questions, Usama from Spain, and take some more questions, inshallah. Please stay tuned. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome back with the second segment of today's live Ask Huda. Our phone numbers will appear on the bottom of the screen for your reference. Assalamu alaikum. Tawfiq from Ethiopia.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sheikh, I would like to ask you a question. The question I would like to ask you, the breastfeeding and pregnant woman, how they can pay their Ramadan back.
A pregnant woman, and how can they do what? Their namaz?
And the second question.
Tawfiq, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. You said pregnant women, how can they offer their namaz? This is what I heard.
My second question, yes, so during the Ramadan, when they are getting weak and then also they will be tired, how they can pay the back? Is it permissible to fast or to feed the poor people?
Do you have any other questions? Tawfiq.
When the sun set. Yes, I can hear you.
Go ahead, continue. Second question, please.
Is it when the breaking the fast? Is it after the sunset, or we should have to see sometimes we can see on the horizontal is reddish. Is it until we're supposed to wait until the sunset and to see that horizontal reddish on the horizontal?
Okay, got your questions. Tawfiq from Ethiopia. Assalamu alaikum. Noor from Ethiopia. Assalamu alaikum, Noor. Okay, let's try again, Noor. Quickly, brother Tawfiq. Every woman who's breastfeeding, if she cannot fast, if she's too weak, or fasting is affecting her breastfeeding, she cannot breastfeed. There is no enough milk because she needs nutrition and water and liquids and so on. Break your fast, and after you finish the breastfeeding, because basically 5 months later the child starts eating along with the breastfeeding and taking outside milk, so you can make up the missed days of fasting afterward, inshallah, before the next Ramadan. Even if you didn't have a chance and you're still weak and you're still breastfeeding, next Ramadan you make up the missed days, because you are in the same position of a person who has temporarily illness. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمَنْ كَانَ مِنْكُمْ مَرِيضًا أَوْ عَلَى سَفَرٍ فَعِدَّةٌ مِّنْ أَيَّامٍ أُخَرٍ. So those who are kind of sick or traveling, you skip fasting, but you make up those days some other time, same number of days when you can. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hakim from the United States. Assalamu alaikum, Hakim. Hakim, can you hear me? Okay, we're gonna skip that call. Abdul Hamid from United Kingdom. Assalamu alaikum, Abdul Hamid.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you, Sheikh?
Alhamdulillah. You know, Abdul Hamid, you really sound like you're fasting today. Aren't you?
Sorry, say that again.
You really sound like you're fasting today. You're very weak.
I'm fasting.
I know.
Yeah, of course, I'm fasting.
Okay. Even while laughing, you sound very weak. Okay, what do you have in mind today, Abdul Hamid?
Right, so I ain't got much to say. I just like to hear your voice, Sheikh, and I'm really happy for you, and may Allah reward you. But my question is basically, what does the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam mean by saying hasting to iftar and then take your time in your suhoor? So I just want to understand, because I try to understand it from the point that does the Prophet mean time difference in terms of, let's say, if Maghrib.
Okay.
Oh, hello.
I got your question, Abdul Hamid. Even though you said you didn't get much to say, you didn't have questions, but that's a question. Okay, I will answer your question, inshallah, in a little bit. Stay tuned. Hakim from the USA. Assalamu alaikum. Hakim, can you hear me? We cannot hear you. So unfortunately, you have to skip your call this time. Okay? Arfana from India. 3 questions. The first, the hukm of Ehtekaf and Salatul Eid. Is Ehtekaf and Eid prayer fard or sunnah? Ehtekaf is sunnah. It's recommended. Ehtekaf is recommended. It's neither wajib nor fard. But Salatul Eid, we have 3 different opinions. And I know you like to hear the different madhahib, especially whenever it's something prominent. Like, you have Imam Malik and Imam al-Shafi'i are of the view that Eid prayer is emphatic sunnah. It's like the 2 rak'ahs before Fajr. Sunnatun mu'akkada. Imam Ahmad may Allah have mercy on him, Ahmad ibn Hanbal, is of the view that Salatul Eid is fard. It is a pillar. It is mandatory, but not on every single individual. Fardu kifaya. It's a communal duty. So if, mashallah, a huge number of Muslims went out to pray Eid, that's it. Those who didn't pray Eid, they're not blameworthy, but they did not get any reward. Imam Abu Hanifa said it's wajib on every Muslim who can afford to attend the prayer. Obviously men, and for women it's recommended. The more right view, brothers and sisters, because the Prophet ﷺ ordered everyone should go out for the Eid prayer, even women during their menses. He said, لِيَشْهَدْنَا الْخَيْرِ. They won't pray, they will just witness the gathering of the Muslims. So every Muslim should do their best to attend the Eid prayer, even if she's not praying due to the menses. وَلِيَجْتَنِبْنَا الْمُصَلَّى. They won't pray, but to witness the pleasure, the joy. It's a Eid, it's a celebration, it's our festival. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Umair from United Arab Emirates. Assalamu alaikum.
Yes, sir, I have three questions.
Yeah, Umair, I cannot hear you.
Yeah, I have three questions. One is this: there are some machines with music. Are they permissible for us to listen to?
Umair, unfortunately, we cannot hear you here in the studio. Please try again. You sound even further than those who are calling from the United States or the UK. Please try again. Also, she asked about the Fajr prayer and the different timings and so on. Fajr prayer is something crucial that we all as Muslims in the community, we have a huge Muslim community in India. Guys go out and determine early morning, go in a plane where you have no buildings in the village or in the farms, and you can determine, well, this calendar, this timetable is more correct. Islamic Finder is more correct, so this is what we're going to follow. When we see al-khayt al-abyad min al-khayt al-aswad, the black thread from the white thread, this is done, then we'll go by this calendar once and for all. So you have to have a council, and I'm pretty sure you do. Okay, so I won't be able to give you a better fatwa than your local scholars, of course, in this regard. Like, I believe Tawfiq from Ethiopia, he asked about the sun, when the sun sets, but there is like some reddishness in the horizon. Do we still have to wait until it turns dark? No. Al-layl, the night begins at sunset. Disappeared, khalas, go ahead and break your fast. Our brother Abdul Hamid, who didn't have any questions, but he just asked a question from the United Kingdom. He asked about the practical application and the meaning of the hadith practically, تعجيل الفطر وتأخير السحور. As you know that it's a sunnah, it's highly recommended that the Messenger of Allah, peace be upon him, said, my ummah will remain in good condition so long as they hasten to break their fast. And he said, hasten to break your fast and postpone, delay the suhoor. Delay the suhoor so that it will be closest to the time of beginning the fast. So you would have some benefit of the nutrition, of the food, of the drink, to give you help to resume fasting. And hastening to break your fast, to cut it short, to cut the road off for people who may think that, it's better to give it another half hour or an hour, or if I prolong my fasting, I will earn a greater reward. No, that to block the means of innovating and adding to the legislation of Allah. Ayah number 187 is very clear. When to begin fasting, when to break your fast. So that's why when you hear the mu'adhin, who normally calls the adhan on time, or when you see sunset, when you hear him say, Allahu Akbar, quickly break your fast and say, ذهب الظمأ وابتلت العروق وثبت الأجر. Breaking your fast doesn't mean that you have to eat a whole meal, but announcing, I'm not fasting anymore. A date, khajur, a sip of water, a sip of drink, a little bit of doodh bati, that announces breaking the fast. Assalamu alaikum. Ya Umair, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam, Sheikh. I have three questions.
No.
There are some nasheed with music. Are these permissible for us to listen to?
Okay.
And when praying behind the Imam, is it correct that we should say Taslim after him? If so, then should we wait until he concludes his Taslim on both sides, or can we do it after he does it on the right side?
Okay.
And my third is, can a person follow Jamaat for Jummah Salah from a nearby masjid while standing in his house and not being present in the masjid?
All right. Quickly, I'm coming to answer your questions, Usama, shortly, inshallah. But we have 5 minutes, we'll get to answer your questions, Usama, inshallah. Umair, number one, listen and enjoy listening to nasheeds, but without music. With humming, that's okay. With percussion, that's okay. Secondly, making taslim along with the imam, invalid. Invalid. The hadith says, the Prophet ﷺ said, لا تسبقوا الإمام ولا تساووا. Do not go ahead of the imam, before the imam in ruku' and sujood and taslim, nor be equal to him. Wait until he says Allahu Akbar, he stands up. Then you, when you hear the full takbir, you stand up. Allahu Akbar for ruku' likewise. When he makes taslim, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. I see some people say, well, we're from this madhab. I'm making salam and they're making salam with me. If I want to tell you that the Prophet ﷺ said, لا تسبقوا الإمام ولا تساووا. Don't you be equal to the imam. Don't go along with the imam with the same movement. And don't go ahead of him. Don't you tell me that there is madhab. Because the Prophet ﷺ said, إنما جُعِلَ الإمام ليؤتم به. So wait until the imam makes taslim both to the right, to the left. Then you can jump out of your prayer as you wish. The third question, nearby masjid and jama'ah, can I follow the jama'ah from my house? No, sir, you cannot follow the jama'ah from your home. And if you know that, if you're following Hanafi madhab, you know that if there is a street or a road where people are walking, that interrupts the jama'ah, even if they are in the same street. Usama from Spain, previously from Netherlands, have, mashallah, several questions. It's about, you know, which country is considered Darul Harb, Darul Kufr, Darul Islam. In brief, because I know the viewers may not know these terms. Harb means war. Which country is in war with Muslims? Which country is attacking Muslims? So this is Darul Harb. And it's not permissible for Muslims to live in such place. Unless if it is an occupied territories of Muslims and they're defending it from within. There's a big difference. But for me to say I'm going to travel to this country which attacks and bombards Muslims and kill Muslims and to live there, it's not permissible. What is the second? Two terms, Darul Kufr and Darul Islam. Let me begin with Darul Islam. Darul Islam is a country or the home of Islam where Muslims announce their sha'air. You hear the adhan? They call adhan in the microphones. Masajid are erected. We go and pray. We're fasting in Ramadan. Even if the ruler is not practicing Islam, even if the government doesn't apply Islamic law and it applies the secular law, but the vast majority of people are following Islam. This is a Muslim country, so this is Darul Islam. Mecca, at one point, was a home of kufr. Why? Because Muslims were not allowed to lift a finger, were not allowed to say Allahu Akbar, were not allowed to recite Quran or even pray in front of the Kaaba. And that's why they were commanded to make hijrah from Mecca to Medina. And Allah said, you're not liable to support those who did not make hijrah and still wait in Mecca. And those who have made hijrah from Mecca, from al-Qura, the dearest city to Allah and to His Messenger ﷺ, were given superiority. On the day of Fathu Mecca, the conquest of Mecca, Mecca has become the home of Islam, Darul Islam. Those who are born and raised in a country which is a non-Muslim country, okay, it doesn't practice Islam, but Muslims are freely practicing their religion, and this is the country in which they were born in, even though it's not the home of Islam, but it is not obligatory for them to travel to another country except if they were persecuted on account of their religion. Rather, they should learn their deen, extend their da'wah to the local people. That will change the demography and explain to people the true faith and the true belief. And again, you don't force people to accept your faith. You just teach them And Islam is like a magnet. When you teach people the pure essence of Islam, a priest accepts Islam, a Jewish rabbi accepts Islam, a celebrity, a singer, a basketball celebrity, a model. A lot of people accept Islam because they knew it and they did not know it before. So you have better access there. If you have an access to travel to live in Mecca or Medina and it is accessible and feasible for you, please invite me as well. I would like to spend the rest of my life there if I can. When you say the ayat of Surah Al-Ma'idah, which began with وَمَنْ لَمْ, we all know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said He has commanded the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and obviously all the Muslim rulers وَأَنَحْكُمْ بَيْنَهُمْ بِمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ. We gotta judge and rule according to what Allah has revealed in His book as a constitution, as a bylaw. And He also said أَفَحُكْمَ الْجَاهِلِيَّةِ يَبْغُونَ, for those who choose to judge according or rule according to any other than the constitution of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then He started talking about the case of when He revealed the Torah and how the Torah was revealed as Hudan wa Nur, guidance and light. And by the end, in ayah number 44 of Surah Al-Ma'idah, He said وَمَنْ لَمْ يَحْكُمْ بِمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْكَافِرُونَ. And those who do not judge and rule according to what Allah has revealed, then it is those who are the disbelievers. Then the following ayah 45, again, وَمَنْ لَمْ يَحْكُمْ بِمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الظَّالِمُونَ, the wrongdoers. Then in 47, you skip an ayah, you go to 47, وَلْيَحْكُمْ أَهْلُ الْإِنْجِيلِ بِمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ فِيهِ. He addressed the people who were following Jesus, the son of Mary. They should judge and rule according to what was revealed in the Injil, the Gospel. And those who do not do so, they do not judge according to the Injil, they are definitely disobedient, rebellious. So we have kafirun, zalimun, and rebellious. And that's why the scholars said if a person, even if a Muslim judge, Muslim ruler, or a Muslim individual thought that the divine constitution which was revealed in the Quran is ineffective, invalid, it should not rule us, we should not be ruled by the Quran, this is retarded, this is backward, then he is of the first category with no doubt. He is a non-believer, he is out of the fold of Islam. If a person knows that this is what Allah has revealed and we should act accordingly, but I'm a judge, I just work according to the paperwork right in front of me, then this is what these scholars refer to, as you said, Abdullah ibn Abbas, kufrun duna kufr. This is rebelliousness, but it is not the kufr that takes a person out of the fold of Islam. But is it okay? No, it is not okay. And that's why he stated, for the people of the Torah, the Jews, they should judge according to the genuine Torah. And if they don't, those who do not judge according to what Allah has revealed, they are kafirun. They are dhalimun in the following ayah. Then in 47, they are al-fasiqun. May Allah guide us to what is best. We've come to the end of today's edition of Ask Huda. We'll see you tomorrow, inshallah, and hopefully to the end of Ramadan. And until tomorrow's episode, 5 p.m. Mecca time, I leave you all in the care of Allah. قولوا قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Allah is my heart's speech. Your mercy is what I beseech. Keep in my heart your remembrance.